If women constantly disrespect you in relationships or outside of a relationship,
Why do you treat me like this, Liza?
it's probably because in some ways you aren't respecting yourself. Because women are just a mirror of your disowned aspects of yourself. And I'll explain you exactly what I mean in this video. You need to understand this. Women aren't just evil creatures that are trying to fuck you up and eat your heart and destroy you completely.
You don't know what the fuck you want.
No. They just respond to certain things that you bring to them because they are hardwired in their biology to respond to certain traits, to certain behaviors, to certain words, sentences, and stuff like that. You know, I can go really deep into this if I want to. And because you aren't really respecting yourself, what I mean with this is you aren't honoring who you really are. You aren't true to yourself. You aren't telling the truth. You're playing games still, you know? You're a little boy in a man's body. The Peter Pan syndrome, if you heard of that. And basically, they're just reflecting back at you what you have disowned, right? And instead of taking responsibility for your own stuff, you blame women. You're saying, all the women are fucking bitches. You cannot trust women. They all just want to fuck you up, blah, blah, blah. All this bullshit from the red pill. And I mean, I know that I'm talking in a very negative way about the red pill, and the red pill is a little bit more complex than this. I'm aware of it. I've studied it. Okay. But there's a lot of bitterness in the red pill community. And it's coming from this misunderstanding of a woman just reflecting the disowned aspect of yourself, right? And if you're not doing the work to become truly confident, to become more masculine, and not the shadow masculine, I'm talking the lighter side of the masculine, meaning more grounded, more centered, compassionate, open-hearted, and a bunch of other qualities, you will attract different kind of women this way, and women will respect you more because you have started to respect yourself more as well. There's an experience that led me to this conclusion a few years ago, right? It's the story of my first relationship that failed miserably because I was too young. I was 22 years old. So not too young, but too young, really. And inexperienced, immature. And when I met my first girlfriend, she thought I was gay. First date, she thought she was going to have a gay friend. And when she said this to me, I felt disrespected. I felt emasculated. I felt really weird about the whole thing. But she was only reflecting my lack of masculinity. I was not masculine back then. I was still very feminine. I was this pickup guy, like fuck boy, but in a very feminine way, right? And she just reflected that back at me. So yeah, I could have blamed her for this and be like, oh, she treated me like shit in that day. Fuck her. I don't want to ever see her again. Or I could be like, wait a minute, why did she fucking said that? Maybe it's true. Not that I'm gay, but maybe I'm projecting a very feminine version of myself. And it doesn't feel like me to be like this because I want to be more masculine because I can feel in my core I am masculine, right? And I'm sure now you can see that I don't project a very feminine version of myself, even though I can be feminine, right? But I have owned my masculine, right? And without this experience where I felt hurt, it was fucking painful to hear these words. But it taught me that there was a part of me that was disowned and I had to integrate it in my psyche, right? And this is literally how you can start having women respect you more and more and more. You want to look at in which ways women disrespect you. In which aspects of your life do you feel disrespected? And then, instead of blaming the outside, you start taking responsibility by asking you this question: what is it in me that makes this woman or these people disrespect me? Let me repeat. What is it in me that makes this woman or people disrespect me? Because I am 100% sure that you know someone. When you see him, there is no way you try to disrespect that person. He feels a little bit scary to talk to, maybe. You can see he's a little dominant, The way he carries himself is very grounded. He's very centered. You cannot really bother him, And even if you try to bother him, it's not going to affect him because he's that kind of man. Would you try to fuck with this guy? No, you wouldn't. Because he has done the work to start to respect himself. He's saying yes to himself. He's honoring himself. For him, for this man, it's more important to honor himself rather than to attract a woman who will not respect himself. And this is the biggest problem with a lot of men. They would rather have sex with a really beautiful woman that do not respect them rather than respecting themselves. This is the problem. You put pussy on top of your own self-love. Brother, wake the fuck up. If you are doing this shit, you need to wake the fuck up right now. And this is the video that I hope will be your wake-up call. When you have women disrespecting you, it's because you have subconsciously decided for it to be this way. You have subconsciously decided for it to be this way. It's your responsibility if women disrespect you, not the woman's responsibility. Don't get me wrong. Some women are fucking toxic. Why are you interacting with them in the first place? That's what I'm saying. It's your responsibility if this fucking woman is disrespecting you. Even if she's a bitch, even if she's toxic, even if she's a red flag, why are you fucking in contact with her? Brother, stop this nonsense. It is more important to learn to love yourself, to honor yourself, to say yes to yourself, to respect yourself, than to have a woman. And this is the lesson that I keep on trying to teach to my clients on a daily basis. That's why I put a huge emphasis on the internal work. Because what is the internal work really doing? It's teaching you to put more emphasis on yourself than women. Which, funny enough, makes you more attractive, more confident, more masculine. And in return, you have women more attracted to you. Isn't it funny? This is the irony, You have been focusing so much on trying to get a woman attracted to you, but you got it all wrong. You have to focus on yourself, elevate your self-esteem, build real confidence, tap into your masculine core, and naturally you will have women attracted to you this way. That's the whole game. This is what I teach in my mentoring programs. Whether it's a group coaching program or one-on-one program, this is what I teach. This is the foundation. Sure, you can learn how to interact with women. You can learn how to seduce. You can learn how to create sexual tension. There are some videos in my YouTube channel that talk about this. But the foundation is to learn to say yes to yourself, is to respect yourself more, is to love yourself. That's the foundation. This is the most important. This is the top one. And not just now, not just for 2 years, not just for 3 years, your entire life, your whole focus is to learn to love yourself more, respect yourself more, say yes to yourself more. You will live a beautiful life this way. This is the life I'm living. This is my number one rule that I'm following, and I've been following it for many years now. And look where I'm at right now. I'm talking to you in front of this camera, speaking my truth, saying stuff that might make people pissed off at me, but I don't fucking care. I'm just expressing myself. I have a girlfriend that loves me for who I am, and I love her for who she is. We have been together for almost 2 years now. It's my longest relationship. Back then, when I was still immature, like my first relationship, brother, I had so many like toxic relationship. My first girlfriend was constantly disrespecting me. She was meeting her ex-boyfriend. Maybe she fucked him, I don't even know. Maybe she cheated on me. I don't know. She never told me, but I had a feeling that she did. You know, I was disrespected back then, but that's only because I was not respecting myself. I was not loving myself. If I would have loved myself back then, I would have never been in a relationship with this woman. She was still in touch with her ex-boyfriend. That's a red flag for me right now. If a woman is in touch with her ex-boyfriend, for whatever reason, I am not dating her, period. Because I don't want any interference in our connection. And this is my rule. And I need to honor it by honoring myself. And that's just one example out of so many that you need to consciously observe and solve, right? By honoring yourself more. Thank you for watching. If you want to have access to a whole course on how to attract one date opportunity every week with your ideal woman using the masculine alignment process, you can click on the link down below. It's an entire framework. I teach you some masculinity, powerful training, some internal work as well. You'll see it's not the typical dating training, and I'm sure that it will help you shift things in your dating life. So make sure to click the link in the description, and I see you, my brother.